bitter criticism reading Russia Today now. You know, I have a problem. I didn't upload it. What what I read yesterday, so I have like 50 videos to upload. I reached the limit, and well, I'm reading Russia Today, the most famous canceled channel in this planet. This is a cancel. It's not. I'm not using VPN. I'm right here in Chile, in the global south. No problems of. Well, we have problems on YouTube, you know, but I guess this. I don't know what the free world can do. They can do nothing, you know. If someone wants to talk about Russia, why not? It's a free world. Is or not? It is or not, you know. Anyway, so let's read Russia Today. Yeah, well, who knows what's going to happen next, you know? But YouTube will keep. By this time, YouTube still cancel Russia Today. Well, this news says October 9, 2024, home, Russia and former Soviet Union. Kiev wants peace talks with Moscow this year, envoy. Ukraine's ambassador to Turkey has floated a proposal for direct negotiations. We have a photograph, Ukrainian soldier in the Donbass, losing the battle in the Donbass. Yeah, very, very interesting. And that was my telegram, a coincidence. Ukraine is still interested in holding a peace summit that will involve Russia by the end of this year. Kiev's envoy in Ankara stated on Wednesday, Vladimir Zelensky's office said this week that it has called off the conference planned for November in favor of a series of thematic conferences with Ukraine's Western backers, according to Ambassador Vasily Bodnar. However, Kiev still wants talks, just not direct ones. Quote, one of the most important goals of this summit is to reach a fair peace in Ukraine, Bodnar said in a briefing in the Turkish capital on Wednesday, according to Reuters. Quote, we hope to hold this summit by the end of the year, unquote. Quote, we are not talking about a format here in which Ukraine and Russia sit across from each other and Ukraine listens to Russia's demands, Bodnar added. Quote, what we see now is this. The international community, along with Ukraine, will sit and create a list of what steps could be taken for a fair peace in Ukraine. And they will discuss what sort of demands to ask Russia based on that list. The envisioned summit will not be a quote, a direct bilateral meeting, he explained it, but a format in which the talks will be held through third parties. Such a format has previously been described as shuttle diplomacy. According to Bodnar, Turkey will be an important participant in the conference, given its experience in mediating conflicts. Ankara has sought to maintain ties with both Moscow and Kiev during the conflict and flared up in February 2022. There's a related news says. Read more. Zelensky cancels November peace summit. A number of countries have offered to mediate between Russia and Ukraine, but without much success. Kiev has continued to insist on Zelensky's peace formula, a 10-point wish list that amounts to Moscow's de facto surrender. Russia has dismissed any discussions of the purported formula as futile and pointless. In June, President Vladimir Putin spelled out a set of terms for a ceasefire with Ukraine, which includes the recognition of Russia's claims to certain territories, the denazification of Kiev, and a legally binding rejection of Ukraine's membership in NATO. And I'm going to read the next one, the related news. October 8, from yesterday, 2024, home, Russia and former Soviet Union. Zelensky cancels November peace summit. There are no plans to hold the conference at this time, Kiev has said. With the photograph, I guess I read this. I guess I read this. Yeah, I'm going to cancel this reading and I'm going to read another. But well, a very similar one, October 9, 2024, home, world news. Top-level meeting on Western leaders. Top-level meeting of Western leaders on Ukraine canceled media. The gathering was reportedly scrapped after U.S. President Joe Biden pulled out. And we have a file photo. Says general view of the 7th meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group at Ramstein Air Base on March 19, 2024 in Ramstein, Miesenbach, Germany. This week's planned meeting of the heads of state of Ukraine's backers in Germany has been cancelled after U.S. President Joe Biden announced he will not attend. Reuters reported on Wednesday, citing an email sent by the U.S. Public Affairs Office at Ramstein Air Base. Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, RFE, also reported the development, citing anonymous NATO sources. The gathering of the so-called Ramstein Group and the eponymous U.S. military base was supposed to feature addresses by Biden, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky. Following the start of the Ukraine conflict in February 2022, more than 50 countries, including most NATO member states, established the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. The participants' defense ministers have been meeting regularly at Ramstein Air Base to discuss Kiev's arms needs and organize deliveries. Reuters reported on Wednesday that the, quote, October 12, 2024 event is postponed with, quote, announcements about future Ukraine Defense Contact Group meetings forthcoming. Earlier that same day, RFE-RL had reported that a high-level meeting of the Ramstein Group of Ukraine arms donor has been cancelled. The media outlet attributed the development to President Biden's decision to scrap his planned trip to Germany. In a statement on Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre announced that given the project trajectory and strength of Hurricane Hamilton, President Biden is postponing his upcoming trip to Germany, unquote. The U.S. president later explained that, quote, I just don't think I can be out of the country at this time, quote, unquote, adding that he hoped to reschedule the trip, quote, in all the conferences I said I would participate in, unquote. Biden's visit was originally scheduled for October 10 to 13 and will have been the first state visit by a sitting US president to Germany in nearly 40 years. Later on Tuesday, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller told reporters that US Secretary of State Antony Blinken, quote, was going to accompany the president and now is returning home since Biden has canceled off his trip to Germany. Weather forecasters have warned that Hurricane Milton could end up being the worst natural disaster to hit the state of Florida in a century. According to the National Hurricane Center, Milton is expected to make landfall late on Wednesday. The state is still recovering from Hurricane Helene, which battered the southern U.S. 2 weeks ago, causing widespread destruction and leaving at least 230 dead.